Hello there, my friends. Today I'm going to be doing a review on Freddy vs. Jason. One of my friends, known as stabetimepictures, requested me to make a video on a review on Freddy vs. Jason. Well, here's the review. I'm about to tell it right now. In the beginning of the movie, Freddy throws a doll in the cremator. Children give him power, and they call him the Springwood Slasher when he was alive, when he was human. Freddy, when he was a human, parents came to burn him, killed him. Back as stuff, he comes back as when stuff dreams come from. Children came to the blade, he says, and they forgot him. And he thinks about Jason. So he needs Jason to kill people to help the kids remember him. Freddy says that Jason gets the blood, but Freddy gets the glory. That's what Freddy says in the movie. Girl goes in the water at Camp Crystal Lake. She hears something. She gets out of the water, and all of a sudden she sees Jason. She runs away. Jason is in front of her, slaughters her, and nails her to a tree. And Jason's mother comes. Jason's mother tells Jason, "You cannot die. Never die," she says. All of a sudden, Elm Street. Children have been bad. So in other words, Jason's mother wants Jason to go to Elm Street because the children were bad. Jason wakes up from the dream. Jason's mother is actually Freddy. Freddy is just using Jason to help the people remember him. It's that same place, 1428 Elm Street. While on Elm Street, in that house, kids are having a party, teenagers. Jason is at the house. There's this girl named Lori, who survives out the whole movie. Lori meets this guy named Blake. The two teens make love. They go up to a bedroom. One girl goes in the shower, and the boy she's making out with is laying in bed. Suddenly, Jason begins to stab him. Several times, Jason begins to fold the bed in half with the boy laying in the bed, so he folds up the boy's body in half and kills him that way. The girl gets out of the shower and sees blood on the floor. She's stepping in it, she opens the door, gets out of the bathroom, and she screams because the boy's dead in the bed, folded in half. Police car comes. The girl screams to the police officer. Cops come and take care of everything. One thinks it's Freddy doing it. Lori's at the police station. She mentions Freddy gets up and no one's there. She looks around and sees blood dripping on the floor. She sees a little girl sitting on the floor, and mentions that Freddy's coming back. Girl has no eyes. She gets up. Lori goes to the cemetery and sees girls jump roping. She wakes up from the dream. Then Blake, that she met. He goes across the street and sees Freddy. Freddy attacks, but there's no effect. It don't hurt Blake. Freddy's hair goes through Blake's chest and nothing happens. That says that Freddy's not strong enough. So Freddy says in the movie, he's not strong enough, so he'll let Jason have some fun. He uses Jason to kill people, to help people remember him so Freddy can come back to life. I mean, get stronger so he can kill again. Jason kills Blake's father and Blake. And this is mental hospital with two boys, Mark and Will. You find out about the murders at the house on Elm Street. They escape out of the mental institution, them two. Because I believe it's Mark who steals the keys from the guy. Lori's with her father. Lori falls asleep, and in her dream, her father becomes Freddy. She wakes up. She tells her father that she wants to go to school, but her father encourages her to stay home. She goes to school. Her friends tell her that Blake is dead. She was killed by Jason. Lori tells her two friends about her dreams. She tells about Freddy. Mark tells her about Freddy, and Lori faints. She goes to sleep in a nurse's office. Her friend Kia, the black girl, reads a magazine, and Freddy says, "Got your nose," as he takes his hand with the glove with the blades, puts the blades up Kia's nose, rips her nose off, and says, "Got your nose." Kia just wakes up from the dream. School gets out. Mark and Will get out. Find out about Freddy. They research him. Figuring out Freddy, a party is going on at a cornfield. Jason arrives there. Lori is sitting on a car. Lindemann or Charlie and Kia begin to argue. Will arrives and goes to Lori. She's asleep. The other girl goes around and thinks, Lori's other friend. She sees this guy named Trey. Suddenly, she goes into the boiler room. Freddy's there. She tries to get out. Freddy's in front of her. She falls down. She hides in the locker. Freddy finds her, but gets stabbed. She gets stabbed. Freddy didn't touch her. Freddy yells out, "No, she's mine." And the girl has been killed by Jason all of a sudden. She's asleep, laying on the ground in the middle of the cornfield. Jason stabs her, and this other guy is trying to, lay on top of her. Guy with all neon lights. I believe that's Trey. Then these two guys come along. They walk right into Jason, and they try to burn Jason. Jason goes around and starts killing everybody. Everybody. Runs in the van. They're all frightened. Will and Lori. Lori's dad takes her out of the van and brings her home. Her and Dad argue about Freddy. She goes into her bedroom and gets out from her window. Mark goes into the bathroom. His son Freddy's in the mirror. He puts pills down the drain. And some dead guy is in the bathtub. That's Mark's brother. Mark's brother's in the bathtub full of blood. And think of it, Will's brother is actually Freddy. Blood vessels go into Will's feet. Freddy tells Will to leave a message. Mark's back, catching on fire. His face gets scratched up. Lori and Will watch. Mark will watch. And on Mark's back, It says Freddy's back. That's what it says when Mark died. Charlie, Kia, Lori start talk about Freddy. Well, a police officer comes in to help out. He tells him about Jason. Freddy died by fire, and Jason died by water, is what Lori says. Lori falls asleep and begins to dream again. Her father becomes Freddy. Will warns her to wake up. She wakes up and she sees that she has Freddy's ear in her hand. Lori, Will, and Kia go into a room with all dead bodies. Freeberg is smoking up a storm, so the door opens. A Freddy worm comes out. Freddy comes in with a bong and smokes out Charlie, or Freeberg. Dreaming. All dead bodies wake up. Slime drips down his face. Freddy Roach goes in his mouth. That's Freeberg I'm talking about. Jason appears, strikes, electrocutes, kills the police officer. Freeberg is possessed by Freddy. Prepares and puts something called in some kind of a medicine in needles. Kia, Lori, Will, and Charlie run away as Freeberg stands there and waits for Jason. Freddy is inside Freeberg's body. Jason comes, and Freeberg, who's actually Freddy, says, "Come to Freddy." And he strikes the needles into Jason. Sticks them right in. Jason cuts Freeberg in half and then falls down because of all that medicine he puts in him. All of a sudden, Jason is asleep. His father begins to talk. Jason's in Freddy's world in the boiler room. Freddy and Jason begin to fight. But before they do, Freddy is actually Jason's mother again and yells at him because he failed to kill kids. Jason's mother turns into Freddy. That's when Jason and Freddy begin to fight. Jason cuts Freddy's arms off. Both arms. Freddy's arms grow back. Attacks Jason. Makes Jason go flying everywhere with his mind. Jason's running and flying into things. Jason throws Freddy across. Water begins to sprinkle. Jason goes into water. Freddy finds out that Jason's finally afraid of something after all. Jason's afraid of water. That's how he died as a kid. He drowned. Jason starts shaking. He drops his machete. And Jason turns into the boy that he was before he died. Jason stabs Jason's head. Freddy stabs Jason's head with one of his blades. Puts the blade in Jason's head. Jason's dreaming. Jason is at a lake, dragging a dead body. Suddenly he goes to a room, door opens, and the room he goes in is full of water, full of dead bodies. Lori, Will, Kia, and Charlie help Lori go to sleep and puts Lori to sleep. And Lori sleeps next to Jason. And they're at Crystal Lake. She sees kids going after little Jason. They push Jason around. Two camp counselors are having sex. They're making out with each other. That counselor is actually Freddy, and the woman is a dead body. The woman's dead. And the male counselor is actually Freddy. Jason falls into the water. Laurie tries to help. Freddy's in the water drowning Jason all of a sudden. In the real world, Jason has water coming out of his mouth. Here, Charlie, Will take Jason's mask off. They try to, but they don't. Jason wakes up. The fan goes flying all of a sudden. Jason finally woke up from his dream. Freddy gets pissed. Jumps out of water. Goes after Laurie. This is in the dream, when Laurie's in sleep dreaming. Alarm goes off. Laurie is still dreaming. Laurie's still sleeping. They're going to Camp Crystal Lake. Freddy is telling Laurie something in the dream. Jason's coming. Freddy has Laurie. Laurie's still not waking up. Jason's after Will, Kia, and Charlie. Kia fights Jason. Strikes back. Charlie attacks Jason with flag. Laurie wakes up finally. Freddy's in the real world all of a sudden. Laurie got Freddy into the real world. Jason sees Freddy. They're both in the real world now, and they begin to fight. Laurie and Will run away. And Charlie dies. Freddy is in front of Laurie and Will. Kia yells Freddy. Freddy goes to Kia. Kia's that black girl. Jason cuts up Kia and slashes her into a tree. Slams her into a tree, actually. Just throws Kia. Kia flies right into a tree. Jason and Freddy continue to fight, slashing at each other. And torpedoes. Freddy leaves his torpedoes. They're like those, things they blow balloons up. I think that's what they are. But Freddy uses them as torpedoes to aim at Jason. Jason just walks right through them. These long wires, Freddy pushes them down off a cliff and they fall right into Jason. Then, Freddy falls, hangs. So Freddy brings up this real big thing, starts whacking Jason with it. If Freddy falls and hangs, Jason takes metal wires and attacks Freddy. If Freddy tries to move the sandbox, so they both go flying. Jason cuts up Freddy. Freddy cuts Jason's fingers. Freddy takes machete and slashes at Jason. Laurie and Will get up. They go get gasoline. Freddy stabs Jason's eyes out with his glove with the blades on it. Laurie shows Freddy go to hell. Jason rips Freddy's arm off. He digs his hand in Freddy's chest. Laurie and Will start a fire. Everything blows up. Laurie and Will survive. Freddy walks up to them. Jason rises out of the water. And Jason stabs Freddy with the arm that he ripped off Freddy. The hand with the knives going through Freddy's chest. Jason falls back into the water. Freddy drops machete and gets down on his knees. Laurie grabs the machete and shouts, "Welcome to my world, bitch," to Freddy, and chops Freddy's head off with the machete. Freddy's dead, falls right into the water. Laurie goes to the other side of the deck on, sees Jason floating in the water. She throws the machete in the water by Jason. Her and Will go away. It's in this weird place in the end. Jason comes up rising out of the water, and he's got Freddy's head in his hand, and Freddy winks. Well, my friends, that's it. I did the best I could with this review. I watched the movie a few times. Great movie. I love it. I always like Jason. I don't know what the story is. Either Jason won or Freddy won. I don't know. Can't really tell. Well, my friends, especially for you, Time Pictures, you're the one who requested me to do this video, do this review. Well, my friends, that's it. I did the best I could. Write comments, do whatever you want. Alright, my friends, talk to you later.